Okay,
Okay.
recording is started.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being on here. Looks like we have a great turnout. Appreciate everyone making it. It's May 7th, 2025. This is the Interstate Commission for EMS Personnel Practice. We are here for Executive Committee meeting today, and I welcome everyone here. And we will go ahead and start with a roll call. And I'll recognize Secretary Joe House.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Obviously, you're present. Vice Chair Denny has been excused, I believe.
Yes.
I'm present. Commissioner Vandaloon.
Excused, got called to the governor's office.
Okay. Commissioner Kaler. And Commissioner Schmieder.
I'm here.
All right. You have three, Mr. Chair.
And give me one moment. Commissioner Kaler says he is in the waiting room. Let me take care of that if you could.
Donnie, I will note that the meeting link on the agenda is different from our calendar invite.
Really? My apologies. Mr. Chair, I will send an email and get that resolved.
We wanted to see how dedicated people were to finding the real meeting. So just kidding. Apologies on that. I will go ahead and do the meeting norms as we were doing that. So first of all, thank you again, everyone, for being here. Typically, we ask the executive committee to have their cameras on during the meeting. Everyone else not requested to do so. Microphones should be muted unless you're speaking. If we do have loud noise or background, we authorize our executive director or myself to mute those individuals. If the conduct continues, then you could be asked to leave or pushed out of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized at any point in the meeting, there is a raise hand feature at the top of the screen. You'll see a picture of a hand and it says raise. If you do that, it'll send out a signal that I will see. I'll recognize you. Please state your name, the organization you're representing, and then your question or comment. And basically then those are the ground rules, and I believe Commissioner Kaler is now on, correct?
Yep, sorry about that.
Thank you, not a problem. We were just tight on quorum today. Appreciate you being here. So we will add him to the agenda and we will proceed forward. We do have a posted agenda. We have several items on this agenda, and then we do have an executive closed session once we adjourn the public meeting. And so with looking at that, is there any matters from the public commissioners or exec committee that are not on the agenda that anyone wanted to address initially? If so, please use the raise hand feature. I will recognize you and you can present on that. Okay, not seeing any. We will move on to old business. The March 2025 meeting summary was included in the today's meeting book. I'll recognize Secretary House again.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. And yes, the meeting summary is in your packet. I would have reviewed it. Looks accurate to me, and would be happy to make a motion to accept or approve these as our minutes.
Thank you. We have the meeting summary presented by Secretary with a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Kaler, I believe. And so with that, we have a motion and a second. Any comments, questions on the meeting summary? I did review it. It looks accurate to me as well. Okay, seeing none. Is there any objection from the exec committee on adopting the meeting summary for the March 2025 meeting? Okay, we will show it adopted and authorize our executive director to place that on the website. Thank you. Next item of business will be EMS week. I believe our Executive Director Donnie Woodyard has a quick update on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Chair. At the last meeting of the Executive Committee, we discussed the concept of a EMS week resolution. We've done this in the past. One of the suggestions was to also include EMS for children. So taking that feedback, what I've done is created a separate resolution for EMS for children to recognize EMSC Day on that Wednesday. Both of these, I recommend that we present to the full commission meeting next week in Grand Rapids for consideration.
Thank you. Executive Committee, what is your will on this? We have motion or just assent to present it next week?
I say it sounds like a great idea, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay, we will go ahead and we will add that, make sure that is on the agenda. I think it is, but we'll clarify that it is on the meeting in person for full commission next week. Okay, move on to Treasurer's Report. Donnie, are you prepared to do a briefing on it?
Yes, I am. Give me 1 second here. All right, Mr. Chair, and having too many windows open here, I just need to bring it back up. Okay, for the Treasurer's Report, we have a pending balance of May 1st of $119,487. Normal debits and credits, including the credit from the National Registry. That, and in the place of our treasurer, that's our Treasurer's Report, sir.
Any questions or comments on Treasurer's Report? Pretty basic for our organization, but any questions or comments? Okay, we will show that as presented and move on to the Chair's Report. Basically for today, I'm just excited for next week. I'm hopeful from what I'm hearing, and I guess we have Commissioner House as president, but it's my understanding, I checked with LD is on here too, that the attendance numbers are solid, but it leans heavily towards the actual state directors. Some of the support staff numbers are a little more challenged, but hopefully we'll have a good parallel turnout for the EMS compact commissioners. And we've heard from several states, so I'm hopeful you'll all be there. It looks to be a good meeting. We usually have good discussion. We have a couple of business items. We are going to go over those EMS week resolutions and important to support EMS week. And then we have Emergency Services for Children Day as well. Another thing that we'll spend a little bit of time on, Donnie's been working in the background. We talked last time about criminal background and whether we could have a work group on that, just to kind of give some high level guidance to states on how to process things like that. And we will spend time at the in-person meeting going over that proposed charter. So that's kind of exciting. I think that'll be big. We are celebrating a few new states that we have. And I think Donnie will get to that as well, and Arkansas being a big one. We also have some new commissioners as well. And so with that, I know, for instance, Oklahoma has switched. And I will say, I think Donnie probably is going to give an update. We will miss Dr. Hockman, but we have Commissioner Tasher has taken over down there as the designated commissioner. And so we look forward to working with her on that. Those are the items that I have. So I will then move on and recognize rules and bylaws, Commissioner Smeater.
Good afternoon, and I have nothing to report. We'll get together next week and work with at the work session to see where do we go from here. But right now we have nothing outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Snyder. Appreciate it. And I'm excited with the next one. I was able to sit in as an observer on the Stakeholder Advisory Committee, and we had our first meeting. Went very well, and I want to recognize the chair.
Back when you get a chance. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Recognize Commissioner Kaler was the chairperson of that group, so I'll recognize him to give a report for the exec committee.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, we held our first meeting on April 16th, and lots of great discussion. I appreciate everyone who participated. Some of the questions that were posed that I thought were worthy noting today. There's many questions kind of surrounding which states have not adopted any or chosen to join the EMS compact, and we received a question about really who, if we had any states that were interested in moving forward and joining the compact, if we were able to identify who they were, or really what the appetite is across different states. We also posed a question of whether or not the commission has any data that our stakeholders can use to bring to the legislators as far as research or outcomes, or data just from the compact across different states. With that, open for any questions.
As I recall, we had a good attendance too, like pretty decent number of people, right?
Yep.
Any questions? My kudos to Commissioner Kaler and Donnie. They put together a good, basically had a good agenda. There were good discussions. Appreciate their hard work and look forward to that group continuing. With that, I will pause for one moment, and I don't mean, and I apologize for putting her on the spot, but I had introduced that Oklahoma has the new commissioner for the compact, and I was going to see if she would like to make any brief introductions for herself, and she was not on, but I see she has joined, and I did not know if Commissioner Tasher would like to do an introduction.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay.
I apologize for my delay in joining the meeting. I'm actually Michael D'Angelo Tessier, and I'm hailing from Oklahoma. And I'm a registered nurse by trade, and I've been a registered nurse for almost 40 years. I've been with the Oklahoma State Health Department here for just right at a year. My background includes ICU, behavioral health, chemical dependency, inpatient rehab, academia, etc. Yeah. So I'm really thrilled to be with you all, and thank you so much for your grace and courtesy in allowing me to introduce myself.
Thank you. Will you be able to go to our in-person meeting next week with such short notice?
I'm afraid not, sir.
Okay. Well, we will miss you there. Apologies on the agenda, but welcome, and we are looking forward to working with you.
No apologies necessary. Thank you.
Okay, now I'll recognize Donnie for his executive director report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And so a few updates. It's been a very, very busy couple months with a lot of meetings. I will note that we do have a new bill that's been introduced in the state of Massachusetts. It is part of a package of EMS-related bills that are being considered there. There are 4 or 5 very EMS heavy, very EMS specific bills in the state. They have worked with us proactively on the requirement for the FBI background check to make sure that the existing regulations can be amended in a way that meets the requirements, so that as a prerequisite, they would have that in place. So we will continue to monitor that. Seems to have some very strong support there at the moment. Then obviously next, an appreciation out to Oklahoma. Well done, sir. That was a very quick transition, and your state governor's office and your secretary got your appointment turned around in record time. So just appreciation on that, and glad that you're here. The other appointment is in Arkansas. So we now have Commissioner Christie. She is the state EMS director there. Another good appointment. I had the chance to go to Arkansas last week and present at one of their state conferences there. Did an executive session for EMS agency operators and EMS agency leadership, and that was a really good session. Also was able to do another session for EMS providers, EMS clinicians at their state conference. So that was a really good opportunity to provide more awareness and really strong support for the compact there. As they noted, they were the middle of the donut hole, surrounded by like 7 states, and they're thrilled to have that passed and enacted. I did receive a call for technical assistance from a representative elected official from the state of North Carolina. Did provide some technical assistance there, and we continue to monitor what will happen from that. Was able to visit Commissioner Kinney in Indianapolis, and that was a trip that was able to present at the GEMS Innovation and the FDIC conference, and then was also able to do a training session with Craig and his staff in his office, and really do appreciate the opportunity to do that. We do have a webinar scheduled for the month of June with GEMS, and some more details on that will be coming out to help increase awareness. I recorded a separate online 1.5 hour learning session for the state of Pennsylvania that will be added to their state CE system, Con Ed system, for an hour or an hour and a half of operations credit. And so they're working to get that added. I will note that if any state has a online learning management system that you would like to add this, I recorded this in a way that you could add it to your system. We're also exploring another opportunity with GEMS to add this to their national online learning platform system for CAPC credit. So we'll keep you updated on that. We are continuing to work with some of our federal partners on some additional potential funding related to the National EMS Coordinated Database and expansion and funding of that. So I'll keep you updated as we hear more from that, but it'd be in the national security and preparedness realm of our work there. I head to Michigan next week, obviously, for NASIMSO, and we'll be seeing everyone there. And then right after that, going to Anchorage, Alaska. We were invited by the state of Alaska to come and do a session on compacts, and it's a joint session that's being done with the Council of State Governments, the National Center for Interstate Compacts, the Executive Director of the Nursing Compact, the Physician Compact, and the Psychology Compact. So we're doing a panel discussion there, and also the state of Alaska is helping to subsidize the expense of that travel. So real happy to be up there for the Alaska conference. With that, I think that's the main updates. Like I said, there's a lot going on, a lot of technical assistance and a lot of education, and so many partners on the line here. Happy to stand for any questions.
Any questions for Dunning?
And Mr. Chair, I might just note that we do have Commissioner Maria Bierman-Faut on, and she just finished her first 100 days in Virginia and did a nice little LinkedIn and social media post about her first 100 days. So congratulations, Maria, on your first 100 days and in that role.
Agreed. Congratulations. And I did note, I always take note, I actually see that we have 5 commissioners that aren't executive committee members on. And so appreciate all of you taking the time and the interest to be on here. With that, we will move on to National EMS Coordinated Database with Ray Mollers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Here in North Carolina for the Special Operations Medical Association conference going on here. Just to point out a couple quick things on the report. Arkansas, we haven't heard from yet, but just hearing Donnie's update, I think coming off the state conference, we'll probably hear from them in the coming weeks. Tennessee and North Dakota are very, very close to being live with their data in the coordinated database. Could be tomorrow, but it could be within the next couple weeks, hopefully. Indiana has started, but as of recent, the last couple weeks, we haven't seen any movement. Hopefully that'll continue to pick up. South Dakota let us know that their project to onboard was sidelined by another project, so we hope that that'll pick up again here soon to get them back in the coordinated database. And we're having a conversation, Donnie and I, with Nebraska tomorrow to see what we can do to help them get on board. As Donnie mentioned about, to add on to his federal partners and possible funding for the coordinated database, the board during committee week had discussion about our support for the compact and the coordinated database, and we started some discussion with Donnie on what would 2.0 look like, or a few things are in play. If we got funding, obviously that would be a motivator to get it moving faster, as fast as government moves. But yeah, barring any questions, that's all I have, Mr. Chair. Back to you if not.
Thank you. Appreciate the report, Ray. Any questions for Ray? Thank you. We will go ahead and move on to new business. I believe we've already dealt with all of the new business, but draft resolution we will be covering, as we noted, in the full commission meeting next week. Recognize new commissioners. We already heard from Oklahoma, and then I don't believe Christy is on. I'm on a couple of NSIMSO committees with her, and I believe she does intend to be at the annual meeting. So hopefully we will be able to formally introduce her there at our in-person commission meeting. With that, we are ready for partner organization updates, and I will go ahead and start with Dia Gaynor if she has anything with NSIMSO as we approach. And I want to extend our thanks, as we always do, for their willingness to allow us to meet on site during the annual meeting. Dia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dia Gaynor, Executive Director of NSIMSO. Simply put, we're ecstatic to host you next week and have assured that the commission meeting is prominently displayed on our agenda, and ample seating for attendees who may yet to be part of the compact, but looking forward to their learning experience that we can facilitate in Grand Rapids. So thank you.
Thank you, Dia. If any other partner has an update that they'd like to give, if you want to use the raise hand feature, I will recognize you rather than start calling out people. And so we will go ahead. Susan, go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Susan Walter. I'm the Assistant Executive Director at CAPC. I'm sitting in for Jay today. Jay wanted to send an update that we had a very busy recertification season. We had more than 800,000 accredited CE course completion records. 76% of the records in March were shared within our EMT, and of those records, 100% included the NEMSED number. And we are working to update our website to add more features and better access for individual clinicians.
Thank you. I appreciate that report. It's always good to hear from you.
Thank you.
Any other updates from partner organizations?
Mr. Chair, that prompted me to remember one.
Yes, go ahead.
An update I failed to mention, and I should have, and I'm glad you mentioned the National EMS ID number. The National EMS ID number has been added to NMSIS, and that's a very huge step forward for all of us. When the National EMS ID number was envisioned a number of years ago, it was always the vision that it would be incorporated into the National EMS information system, and that has officially been done. I believe a joint press release might be pending with the SIMSO and National Registry on that, but that work has been done. Now, let me just explain what that potentially can mean for states who wonder about EMS providers practicing in services in your state. If that number is part of the NMSIS report, it would allow your visibility into that. So this is a very significant update forward from that.
Great, thank you. Any questions on that? That is great news. Thank you. Okay, as a reminder, we are meeting next week. It'll be on May 4th, which will be on the Wednesday of the meeting. Part of the reason everything got shuffled was from the NSIMSO end. We actually heard feedback about travel on Mother's Day was complicated for people because everyone has a mother, and then a lot of people were mothers or otherwise involved. And so with that, they want Monday to be a travel day, so everything got bumped a day. So that's why there's some confusion. But the in-person meeting will be on Wednesday, May 14th in the afternoon, and it'll be on site with the NSIMSO annual meeting. Our next executive committee meeting will be on June 4th. That completes the part of the public meeting. We do have an executive session for the officers, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn from the open meeting and go into executive session on a different forum, if there is a motion.
Greg, I think you have a question, Susan Walters.
I think she just didn't lower her hand. Did you have anything further, Susan? Yeah, thank you. Is there a motion?
All motion.
Oh, thank you. Commissioner Kaler, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner House. With that, then any objection from the executive committee? Thank you, everyone. That adjourns public meeting. Appreciate all the interest. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to Donnie or one of us officers. We'll be glad to talk with you. Look forward to seeing most of you at the annual meeting, and we'll reconvene on the second link for the executive session. Thank you.